whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police.
Today's actual video is essentially an interview with a photographer. Khary Dixon here, photographer extraordinaire. Out here in Houston, Texas, but really Clear Lake, which is where old people go to die.
That's not too far from the truth. And on this episode of Khancept, Black Lives Matter. Belal's mama didn't name him Belal for nothing.
Yep.
We out.
I learned a lot of stuff from Khary, especially in the area of photography, that I've applied straight to video, right? Really appreciative this dude. I've been hoping that this guy starts his own photography vlog, right? For real, right?
Too many things happening, man. But
so need to hook this brother up with a video camera that he can use for showcasing his photos.
Creatively, that's been the struggle. I have DSLR cameras, and they're so big and so bulky, and the technology is behind with the 4K. And it just makes it harder to produce quality content like you see like this
gentleman
on the
shoots
fly.
film so he can print, right? Just to kind of give you an idea of the domain in which he has been
The
operating.
mental space I operate.
Yeah, right?
For sure.
And so this guy's like, yo, I want to get a medium format camera from Fuji that shoots film. I'm like, dang, yo. I want to get as far away from film as I can.
To your benefit out there,
Yeah.
even though let me turn on some lights around here. It's going to be a dark vlog.
We're at the Clear Lake Islamic Center here in Clear Lake, Houston. Khary has worked here. There's a bunch of people that he serves out here. The thing that I wanted to ask about was specifically in the area of photography. My first question was, yo, what's the deal with, like, why do photographers insist on viewfinders?
So we were talking about viewfinders in general. The ideal of a viewfinder, an optical viewfinder, not a digital viewfinder, right? Viewfinders help you see outside of the frame. So when you're watching like a street photography or you're in a street scene and you see like a kid playing with the balloon and you want to get that person in step, with an optical viewfinder, you're able to see the person walking into the frame and capture that precise moment. So you see moments before they happen.
Okay.
Right? Now, digital viewfinder, why do photographers prefer a digital viewfinder? And that's to save battery life. Point blank, period. Is if you use your digital viewfinder inside your viewfinder opposed to the back of your screen, you essentially double the battery life of a particular camera. Sometimes, 3/4 of the battery life is
Okay, because as a video shooter, I'm like, because right now I'm shooting this on a Canon EOS M6
Nice.
Mark II rental.
Mark II.
Yeah, and the thing,
Inshallah, you'll have that.
and you'll notice, autofocus,
He needs to own it.
autofocus.
Yeah, give it a second. You know how that.
Nah, it's right on point, right?
It recognized black people? The first camera ever. Canon, you won already, the autofocus game. I can't wash my hands under sensors because they won't cut on. I gotta use my white shirt for the photo sensor for the water to cut on at some bathrooms, and that's fact.
So, and the cool thing is not only props to Canon for detecting darker complexion.
Yeah.
Right? It's also got the eye focus too.
I like how you said complexion. I said skin.
Skin color.
No,
skin
say
color.
complexion.
Complexion.
Before you see thumb downs on your video. Don't do that. We want to save them. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, that was that question about viewfinders, optical viewfinders.
Yeah, because take a look at this. Right? GH5, and the thing that always bugged me, it's a video-centric camera. Yes, it takes photos, but like if it didn't have that viewfinder, like I'd be able to bag it.
If you're a film shooter out there,
Yeah.
this applies to you too. Ideally in photography, this is a gem, ding! When you're shooting, you always want to have 3 points of contact on the camera.
Okay.
And that third point of contact has always been your eye.
Okay, you're stabilizing with your
You're
face.
stabilizing 3 points.
Okay.
So even when you're shooting video, I can't do it on my glasses, but even when you're shooting video and you're getting a scene, you could press that camera up to your face because you want to keep your elbows tight to your body. This reduces shake and movement.
So it's like a boxing stance.
Yep, and you just go around and you're panning. That's how I would use this as a video shooter too.
Okay.
Because screens, like I
But
said.
the thing is with the video shooter, what I would typically do, and I don't have it here and I don't have it here, but sometimes what I would do is I take the strap the neck strap.
Yeah,
right.
That's another way of doing it.
And I just like hold it
Just
out.
hold it out right here. But you're at if you work out like me all the time, you're at the mercy of fatigue wise.
Okay, I got you.
Versus having here, I can walk like this all day.
But,
you know what I mean?
But if you got a beast of a lens like this.
But the same rules apply. You hold in here and you hold it with your elbows out.
Okay.
It's the same, no matter what, your stance never changes,
Gotcha.
right? Because you even got some photographers who shoot slow and that are left eye. Left eye meaning they use this
their left eye
on
dominant.
their left eye. Yeah, left eye dominant. You even have people who do this thing called the grip. And that's where you swing around to the lens here.
Oh, that's a weird, awkward.
This is when you have like slow shutter speeds.
Okay.
This is when you're shooting 24 of a second at night and you don't want to shake. And you're here.
Okay.
The game is use a tripod.
But this is a challenge, right? Because you're a full frame shooter.
I'm a Fuji guy now. Like I love everything Fuji does, period. They're all of the Fuji stuff, for sure. So I am moving to the more of the crop sensors, the 1.5 crop.
Right.
That's starting to become amazing. But with my video projects, I still shoot on a Nikon D600, 24 frames a second.
Yep.
With a ND filter. That's my go-to. That's it. That's mine. But the process is so long.
What's your challenging part with the video?
First of all, the Nikon D600 doesn't have a great autofocus.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, so you got to go manual.
Yes.
Okay, so it's basically, it's the story of my original EOS M.
Yes. Basically. Yep. If you look up the story, you're basically.
So I mean, for anybody who's unaware, EOS M, bad autofocus, bad low light.
Yeah. Mine's is noisy though.
Yeah, I mean, you get noisy, right?
Anything
above 400 ISO,
yeah,
it's just terrible noise.
And Nikon was notorious for having horrible autofocus versus now the algorithms that they put into these. This Canon has it. I just seen it, where it knows your eyeball.
Yeah.
Even on animals or humans, and it locks in.
And the best part about it is like I'm using an old pancake lens, right? 24mm EFS, adapted using a third-party adapter from Viltrox,
and it's still hitting.
And it's still hitting it.
Yeah, it's still hitting.
So Sony can't do that. Sony could do it on its own native lenses.
Yeah.
Not and maybe some third-party lenses that are native, but not adapted.
Yeah.
Panasonic can't do that adapted.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this is probably why I'm gonna end up buying this camera.
Yeah. For you, like when I seen this camera and I'm like, yo, Belal needs to get this camera yesterday. This is a yesterday camera for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is a really amazing product. And I only just seen it for like the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't know, but it's a good camera.
Yo, the thing that was amazing for me, and he was kind of explained to me how that's old news.
What's that?
Was the whole continuous shooting.
Okay.
Right.
And the buffers.
The buffers. Right. It's like with this camera, I was taking photos of my baby for Father's Day, right? And they got my sister-in-law and her husband. They got me a custom one. Well, not me, but my kid, a custom onesie. Yeah. It says like your dad, right? And it shows some like hipster mustache face. Yeah. And then it says my Baba, and it shows a guy doing karate kicks. Right. And so
I like that.
Now the thing is, a baby is gonna be super moving and everything. Yeah. Now if I bump up the shutter speed, I lose light sensitivity. Yeah. Right. Bump up the ISO, I get noise. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But this thing, I can bump it up to like 3200 ISO, and I'm still good.
Clean.
Very clean. Yeah. Right. And then on top of it, this thing has almost 30 frames per second.
Yes.
Raw shooting.
Yes.
Right? With electronic shutter.
Yeah.
And I think like 14 frames per second. Yeah. Just full uncropped.
That's crazy.
And it's just like.
And back in the day, that was only a unique feature to your flagship cameras.
Okay.
Being able to shoot anything over 7 frames a second. That was a flagship thing. That was like where it would, like I have a film camera that shoots 7 frames a second. And like I said, it keeps going, but it's just amazing.
But the challenge with film is that you only got so much film.
Yeah, you only have so much film.
Right? With the digital thing, I got a 256 gig card in there. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, there's 30 images. Hey, I like those two.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It's like no skill needed.
But it's not about skill. It depends on what you're doing. Like if I go event shooting and I cover a conference, there's no way, 0.0% chance that I'm gonna shoot film as my main go-to camera through an event.
Gotcha.
Because those images are ephemeral. They're gonna go away. They're like a flower, bloom pretty, and they're gone. Yeah. And sometimes it might could be used for something big, but it's only for another event or the event next year. Yeah. That's what I use my digital work for, is to tell a story. Okay. Now, when you go to film, I carry my film cameras on family vacations only. Yeah. I'm hiking in the woods, I'm at the beach, and I want these frames that last forever. And then also when I'm out in nature and building these scenes, street photography scenes, I want to be able to take these selected frames and go. And the big thing with film and me using it for family, the big thing is when I'm on vacation with my family, the purpose of it is to spend time with my family. Right. So once I nail that 36 shots, the camera is in the car, or you know what I mean, take it apart in the bag and it's done.
You're being intentional with what you're shooting, why you're shooting, and how you're shooting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that you pointed out, and maybe we can end on this.
Yeah.
What the heck is street photography?
Oh, street photography.
Right, because a lot of times people are like, oh, I want to use it for street photography. Yeah. I'm like, what, you taking pictures of randos on the street? Like, what's happening here, right?
Well, street photography, I think personally, street photography is one of the most important genres of photography ever in the history of human mankind. You have someone going out, taking pictures of random photos, but it's showing life as it is, as it was.
Photo documentary.
Yes, but you're looking for elements like contrasting scenes, right? You're looking for repetition. You're looking for light patterns. You're looking, all the rules of photography, of the golden rules of photography still apply, but you're trying to catch it in a moment in time. Okay. And that's the part of having street photography be important, because when you look back on the history books, we could never tell how 1926 was in New York or Times Square if it wasn't for those street photos.
I got you.
Right? And even the work that I've done over my time over at working at this master for years, we're talking about maybe 7 to 8 years worth of work, I haven't unleashed or let it out anywhere just because it's a historic part of time and history, and I want it to be viewed as such. Okay. So that's why street photography is important.
So how would you relate the idea of street photography to video? Is it street documentary, but just kind of like a random
video?
Because the thing that comes to mind is the old Lumiere Brothers type of original testing of those cameras where they Jimmy rigged those videos or the photo cameras, and then you see videos of now there are videos of New York City, of Paris, of all these places.
You know what I think street photography's equivalent is to me? Okay. Is vlogging.
Okay.
Vlogging, because you're just, this is my world, this is what I'm doing. Like we're here setting up a class. Yeah. But yet so often we talking about photography and then we're like, you know what, let's record this. Yeah. This is street photography in the video format. Okay. This is the vlog. Because it goes back to the thing, it's intention, it's a signal versus noise versus just anything that's out there, right?
So it's important that you have an element of story in the street photography.
Of course, it has to be.
Okay.
It has to be. You have street photographers who just work one street for years. Okay. Jamal Shabazz. Okay. Is a perfect street photographer that I can think of that I follow on Instagram. Okay. Basically, he just been in Harlem forever. He take pictures of like from the 70s and 80s, just his life. And now, like the other day, he posted a picture of a baby that he took, 2 parents, the mom and the dad. And this woman is now 30 years old and she runs something in Harlem that's important. Okay. And he had her baby picture with her father, and her father is passed on. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the importance of street photography, is documentation. And that's the importance of vlogging, the two worlds.
Is there a difference between what you're describing as street photography and photojournalism?
Big difference is street photography is raw, right? Okay. Just every day the same scene. Yeah. Photojournalism is an assignment. You're going with a specific story to tell at the time. Hey, we want you to go to Afghanistan and look
So it's more news related specifically.
Yeah, news related. And then also street photography, photojournalism and documentary work, you have the element of setting up shots. Yeah. Right? So if you go and you set up a shot, because this thing out there that it's not street photography if it's coast or coached.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Versus photojournalism, you're allowed to say, hey, can you sit by this light, move this, do this, do this, do
Also
this.
staging versus not staging.
Staging versus not staging. So you have that big debate out there, which
But
some
there's
people
opinions
say,
on there.
yeah,
right?
it's opinions. Like, I'm on the street. This is street photography. Like, I see this guy right here, and I'm like, yo, bro, let me get a photo. You look cool. All right,
Okay.
cool. Click.
Somebody could be like, all right, cool. Now can you just change your pose a little bit?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Although now it's staged,
Yes.
but it's still street.
It's still the same thing. It's like, to me, I consider it street photography because to walk up to a total stranger and say, hey, man, can I take your picture?
Yeah.
I just think you look cool. That's takes some strength. And I've done it. You know what I mean? I've done it. Yeah, professionally and not professionally. I've done it like when I first moved to Houston, the funny part is I worked at Kima Boardwalk.
Yeah.
And I was one of those annoying guys that's, hey, let's take your photo, let's take your photo.
Right, right.
And then I turned that to the next level of just not only taking your photos, but riding the boat. And while riding the boat, flash and taking photos.
Yeah.
And man, people used to sell like 20 photos. At the end of the day, I used to sell like 250 photos doing that.
Nice.
So it just shows you the difference of when you're engaged and you're trying to tell a story, like a street version of just this is life.
Yeah.
That's street photography versus photojournalism coming in with a story and an assignment with a specific, I'm looking for a cover, I'm looking for this. All right, let me set up light. Because then also with photojournalism, you could bring, we don't have any, but you could bring artificial light with you.
Yeah.
Photography and videography that fit together is this. When you're about to video a scene, start with the camera first. Start with your angles first. Because you gotta frame everything first.
Yeah.
After you frame everything, that's the wonderful thing about videography.
Yeah.
You can add in lighting. Then if the lighting is too bright, you could put neutral density filter, make it nighttime outside. That's the intriguing part about video that I really, really, really want to expand into my life.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I want to bring around. This is why I'm hanging out with this guy behind the camera because he gets it done. It doesn't matter if he have a MEOS from 1800 years ago. If you look on his YouTube, he done stuff with it. Like me, I got tons of stuff that shoot video, but you look at my YouTube channel and it's like maybe
part
two hands full of content.
Khary's bigging me up a bit here, but
No, it's facts.
The key lesson is like it's less of like he's doing, but it's also having the confidence of putting out a whole bunch of crap.
Yeah. Because
Right, like for real, right?
Because you don't know what sticks.
Right, I like for real.
You don't know what sticks.
I am surprised. Like one of my most watched videos right now on the YouTube channel is a video that I did of me trying to capture the moon with my telescope.
You just don't know
Right,
what
like
sticks, bro.
Personally, from an aesthetic point of view, from a technical standing, I shot that on my cell phone, my GoPro.
You don't know what's it's stupid how
to me,
that
it
is.
looked terrible.
It's stupid.
But people loved it.
But the things you put 20 hours into recording and editing, and you're like, oh, the world gonna love it. They're gonna love this. Crickets, bro.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Straight.
Maybe like 2 or 3 trolls at the most, and then someone trying to sell you Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
All right, folks. I think that's the end here. This is Khary Dixon. If they want to find you,
if they want to find me, I have Yokhary, YOKHARY. But the biggest thing that I'm starting, Convertical. Convertical is basically I'm a convert Muslim, finding Islam, standing upright.
Right.
You can find it on Instagram, Convertical_podcast. Check it out on that one.
if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. See you soon.
That's the best thing. Is comments on YouTube.
Yep.